Africa, an anti-apartheid revolutionary, politician, and an African legend, an icon of democracy and social justice.
You have a limited time to stay on earth. You must try and use that period for the purpose of transforming your country into what you desire it to be.
A reference point in international politics, Mandela was not just a leader, but one that commands honor and dignity. Rave 91.7 FM, not just a radio station. We are credible and we are honorable.
Meanwhile, them just I love it, you know to be me. So make you understand the rest of your mom. I love it, you know to be me. So make you understand the rest of your mom.
With amazing music and quality talk. Rave 91.7 FM. We define your every moment.
Yes, indeed. We have got the authority. We have got the audacity. We have got the mandate. We have got the instruction. We have the assignment. We have the mission. We have the priority.
Preach on, sister. Preach on.
We have the zeal. We have the vibes. You see, to rock your world. 8:42. Right? Oh, praise God! Praise God. Okay. 8:42 from Rave 91.7 FM, where we're always defining your every moment with amazing music
And quality talk.
Quality. I dey run my own, I dey waka my own, I dey drive my own. Beevan, which one are you doing? You dey fly your own.
I did bowl my own. I just leave me alone. All right, people, welcome back to Rave 91.7 FM. Time check is 8:42 and the final lap.
It feels like ages, and something that has happened in time past feels like it just happened yesterday. So it was last month. So you mean Bookie's baby is now like how many months old? Oh my goodness. Okay, so as we said, on the twisted 24th day in the month of October, year 2017, and we're around 9 weeks to the end of the year 2017. And as I said, it is World Polio Day today, and it was established by the Rotary International over a decade ago to commemorate the birth of Jonas Salk, who led the first team to develop a vaccine against poliomyelitis. Use of this inactivated poliovirus vaccine and subsequent widespread use of the oral poliovirus developed by Albert Sabin led to the establishment of the Global Polio Eradication Initiative in 1988. And as of 2018, well, GPEI, that is Global Polio Eradication Initiative, had reduced polio by 99%. It was on the news about last year, either earlier this year or last year, that there were some cases of polio that we, Nigeria, actually, that we could have been certified totally, absolutely, completely polio-free, but some other cases came up and we could not be certified. The same thing happened in agriculture one time about our beans. How that they could have certified and then something just happened. Quality check, very, very important. It could be, I've talked about this, how that something comes to your table and like, the next person will handle this, so it's not my business. Because you have seen it, please handle it. Quality control, very, very important. Don't just pass it over. You never know what goes around comes right back around. It could happen to someone very, very dear to you, someone very, very close to you, and then you'll be crying over spilled milk at that time. Why don't you make hay while the sun shines? It's on your desk, the ball is in your court. Do the right thing, do justice. So what you ought to do justice to. It is World Development Information Day as well, and according to the General Assembly resolution ARES 65141, information and communications technologies have the potential to provide new solutions to development challenges, particularly in the context of globalization, and can foster economic growth, competitiveness, access to information and knowledge, poverty eradication, and social inclusion. The General Assembly in 1972 established the World Development Information Day to draw the attention of the world to development problems and the need to strengthen international cooperation to solve them. And the Assembly decided that the dates for the day should coincide with United Nations Day, that is today. I already gave us a hint right there, which was also the date of the adoption in 1970 of the International Development Strategy for the second United Nations Development Decade. Okay, moving on from there now, it is the United Nations Day. Hip hip hooray, like pirates. Okay, United Nations Day 2017 for this year marks the 72nd anniversary of the UN Charter's entry into force and celebrates everything that the United Nations represents and has achieved since its establishment in 1945. All the member states of the United Nations contribute finances to its operation to help further its goals. Aside from world peace, its role has grown to include protecting human rights, promoting social and economic development, and providing aid around the world in cases of famine, natural disaster, and armed conflict. And each year, the global network of UN information centers organizes a variety of events to mark UN Day. Activities range from ceremonies, seminars, panel discussions, symposiums, to a series of briefings for students, art competitions, rallies, film screenings, and book or photo exhibitions, media campaigns, including interviews and newspaper supplements, and social media campaigns. So go ahead and use the hashtag UN Day. Hashtag UN Day to promote messages of peace, development, and furthering human rights. Now, this is a little bit touchy. Right here, it is the Take Back Your Time Day. Take Back Your Time Day, not like the Mulligan Day from last week. This one is Take Back Your Time Day, and it actually focuses on having to do overtime at work. The risk factor, especially when it affects your family, having to affect your health, causing stress, a lot of negativities on the side of working overtime. Right here, it is a very, very, very touchy one. Overwork threatens our health, reducing time for exercise and encouraging consumption of calorie-laden fast foods. Job stress costs our economy 200 billion. That's about American economy now. Cost the American economy about $200 billion a year. Overwork threatening marriages, families, and relationships as they find lesser time for each other. But reality is, I'll say two things, or maybe one thing that could be divided into two, and that is whatever your hands find to do it diligently. And aside that, I would also like for us to just make do with whatever you're doing, because you will not last forever. You will not always be there, and it is part of your makeup story. I'll call it the wraps right there.
Okay, guys, let's look at today in history. She just gave us the holidays and observances, okay? And so we talked about today being Polio Day. Now, on this day, that's 24th of October 2003, Nigerian health workers began an emergency drive to immunize some 15 million children against polio. That was in the year 2003. Now, October 24 to 31st in 1960, because the general strike was looming, the Oba of Lagos, Adeniji Adele, invited 3 representatives of the Labour Solidarity Committee to his palace for preliminary talks in connection with the rift in the rank and file of the Labour movement in the country. Now, Chief Akin Deko, Western Nigeria's Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources, returned to Lagos from the Rome Cocoa Conference in triumph. At the conference, he was unanimously chosen chairman of the Executive Committee of Cocoa Study Group. Now, the Nigerian Trade Union Congress, TUC, stated that it was committed to the attainment of unity both in the Nigerian and African labor force, and that the strike will still go on. Now, the retiring Governor General of the Federation, Sir James Robertson, was honored with a passing out parade at the Southern Police College, Ikeja, Lagos, and also Alhaji Sir Amadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto and the Premier of Northern Nigeria, stated that his government was in full support of private enterprise and would give assistance to any practical scheme drawn up for the industrial growth of the region. Now, the Federal Public Service Commission announced the appointment of 4 Nigerians as permanent secretaries in the Federal Public Service. They were Mr. L.V. Anionwo, Mr. W. Simpson, Mr. A.J. Lewis, and Mr. S. Oway. Dr. Ezekiel called for understanding and cooperation between various tribes in Nigeria. Now, this is a 1960 newspaper. It was known as the historical some news flashback newspaper or something like that. Yeah, historical flashback newspaper. That was volume 3, number 39. This was written in 1960. Now let's see. Let's go to the international scene. Now, on this day in history, what happened? 2007, China launched Change 1. It was the first spacecraft of China's lunar exploration program, which is responsible for sending unmanned robotic space probes to the moon and the lunar orbit in order to better understand Earth's largest natural satellite. And then also, in 1964, Zambian independence. Today is Zambian's Independence Day celebration. And also 1945, United Nations founded. Okay, we already talked about this. The UN Charter was ratified by the then 5 permanent members and 46 member states. 1930, coup in Brazil. President Washington Luiz was deposed by the heads of the armed forces just 4 years after he came into office. And also on this day in 1926, last performance of Houdini, the world famous escape artist, performed for the last time at the Garrick Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Okay, that was in 1926. If you heard of Houdini before, well, his last performance was on this day in 1926, like almost almost 90 something years now, or close to 100. Now let's talk about births on this day. Today happens to be Wayne Rooney's birthday. He was born in 1985. He's an English footballer. For those who don't know much about him, well, happy birthday, Rooney. Although he's passing through a lot of family challenges right now. And also 1981, Tila Tequila, American model actress, was born. She was born in 1981. And also 1960s, Roman Abramovich, a Russian businessman, politician, was born. Today is the Belani's birthday, American race car driver. He was born in 1962. And 51, Domitian, Roman emperor. Someone like me, I can't know him that much. Anyways, that's on this day. Today happens to be the 12th anniversary of Rosa Parks' death. Yeah, American activist. If you've heard of Rosa Parks, well, if you haven't, I think this is someone you need to go Google and read about. She was an activist. Remember the story of the black woman who was in a bus, and then there was this racism. Because of racism, there could be white people were allowed to sit in front, blacks were at the back, and this space was empty, and this lady worked in nobody there, and the back was filled up with blacks already. So she sat down. A white person.
No, even if the bus was filled up, provided there was a white person on the bus, every black person should stand.
Yes, no. According to this her story, what happened on that day was she was the back was filled up, and the front was empty, and then she sat down there, and then a white person came and told her to stand up, and she refused, and that brought about a change. Now, if you need to read about Rosa Parks, she's really inspiring. And in 1972, Jackie Robinson, American baseball player, died. In 1945, Vidkun Quisling, Norwegian soldier, politician, and traitor, died in 1945. And 1944, Louis Renault, French businessman, co-founder Renault, died. And in 1601, Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer, chemist, died. And I think that's how much we can take today on this day in history, right here on your numero uno, Rave 91.7 FM, 8:55 says the time.
And that is the time for us to say our byes. Thanking you so very much for being a part of our world right here since 5 a.m. And as we always say, that things can only get better. We'll be making a return tomorrow to do it bigger and better. My name is Damilola Raphael, but you can call me Damilola Unusual. I am the beloved of the Most High God. You know God follows my name, Mimi Doredo. I love you, and it's true. I love you, and you know it. Remember that I always await your success stories. I'll see you when I see you. Make sure to have a most productive day. Mwah.
Okay, and my name is Beevan. Magoni. Up next is a great song by Dari At Alade, Love You Die. Just have you at the back of your mind. We love you die. Family will be here shortly for Frank Talks. Still Rave 91.7 FM. See you tomorrow.
Rave 91.7 FM.
From the very first time I laid eyes on you, you got me thinking I could be your special someone. Maybe you don't understand, so I say it again. I wanna be your man. Baby, I know you've heard it all before, but I can guarantee that you'll never search no more for somebody to love you for who you really are, just the way you are. Baby, you're a star. If you give me your heart, I go give you my world. I go give you everything, treat you like a queen. If you let me, I go to love you, die. If you let me love you and love you, I place no one above you, I go there by your side, never make you cry. If you let me, I go to love you, die. I go to love you, die. I go to love you, love you, die. I go to love you, die. I go to love you, die. Imagine if you had somebody that you could tell anything, somebody who understands you, somebody who listens. And I know that it's hard to believe, but my darling, you'll find it in me. So baby, bare your heart, no need to be